Oh, deluded. Everton 0, Arsenal 0, and people, Deluded is smiling. I'm smiling because it's our first game in 15, I believe, with a clean sheet. Based on, I know we last away game, we won against West Ham, but I believe we weren't amazing by actual Premier League team standards or a team that wants to be top 4. Of course we're appalling, but considering how we've been in recent form, considering where we're at as a club and everything, I think it was a better performance. We didn't lose. We take our point, we go again. Listen, we can't afford to slip below, but we can't afford to be thinking of top 6, top 4, any of them things. We just need to become united as a football fan base again and as a team collectively with the players and everybody and get back to just being consistent. But in terms of this game, there's many things we could have done better. Obviously, we was quite sloppy in terms of the final third, but generally I think we did okay, man. I think the young players did well. I think the experienced players, I thought the pivot did well. I think we definitely defended very well defensively today as well. We just, obviously the quality on the ball and the problems which have been here, mainly the lack of philosophy, the lack of intent for the man in possession, between that and the lack of movement, the obvious problems. But within the framework of that, I can't really ask more for any of the players apart from probably scoring and whatnot. Both teams, Everton too, clearly look like two sides that need new managers. Players don't really know what's going on. A bit of a watershed moment. But listen, I won't say I'm impressed with everybody, but I think it was a good performance. I'm going to go with Leno. I'm going to give Leno a 6. Obviously, I always give Leno high ratings, and I do think a 6 is a calm result, but I don't think there was too much he was asked to do where it can be higher than that. So I feel that's a good result for him. And more so than his rating, he finally gets a clean sheet, because there's been games he's played better than this and he's been let down. And he's like, even last week he deserved a clean sheet based on his performance, but we lost 3-0 to City. So I feel for him, just for him, it's good that he got a clean sheet. I think Leno did cool today. Everybody's quick, myself included, to question Maitland Niles. Why is he stagnating? Why is he not staying switched on? But I feel today, I think he had a good game today. Now, considering him and Saka are not natural fullbacks, many people would have thought Everton, that's areas they're going to exploit, the spacing behind. And I think to a degree they attempted that. But I feel Saka will get onto. But Maitland-Niles rid to the occasion. I think he was strong when he needed to be strong. I think he, obviously a couple moments, but I think he didn't do things he didn't need to do. I think he played good passes. He put one lovely ball in the first half that no one gambled on. Couldn't really ask much more from Maitland-Niles today. Definitely his best game of recent in that position. And you've got a new manager. He's probably one of the young players which has gone through that period now where, okay, you've burst in, but you're at a crossroads. Do you go out on loan? Do you attempt to make yourself in this team? If so, what position are you? Obviously, at times, unless he's playing right back or with the injuries, he's not even been in the matchday squad. So he's got to show Arteta, yo, somehow I'm someone that can be here. I'm one of these guys, do you get it? And I feel based on today, he did a long way to that. So I'll give Maitland-Niles an 8, to be fair with you. I'll give Maitland-Niles an 8, man. I'll give Maitland-Niles an 8. I'll give Saka a 7. I feel Maitland-Niles was just that bit better, but I think Saka did well in that left back position. Obviously, a couple of times when you put the balls into the box, the quality weren't there. Well, that could be said for all of us. But I feel Saka did all right. He stood up to be counted. He didn't get punked out there. He fought when he needed to fight. Whatever the tense is. And I was impressed with all our young players. Not in that everyone was amazing and we ran rings, but I would just like that how they all tried. And I'm very happy that they all got this experience for them. Even Emil Smith-Rowe, who definitely wasn't amazing, and I think we're going to get there with him, but he needs to develop. That's his first Premier League start. I'm not making excuses. Obviously there's constructive criticism. He has to probably come onto the ball more, drop a bit deeper and cry out for the ball a bit more than he would at academy level. But that's his first Premier League start, people. The occasional cup game where we're playing teams where 9 times out of 10 there's a landslide in quality and we win even when we've been poor isn't going to improve you. It's catch-22 because you can't get experience without being given opportunities like this, and he needs to hit the ground running. There is a case for him and Nelson and Dor to go out on loan, even though I want to keep them because I believe the only youngsters right now that look, I'll keep all of them in the first team environment, but Martinelli and Saka seem to be the ones I've got to hold their hands and guide them a bit through less. It's just a case of what we can improve. It seems like I've got to put an arm around Nelson and Emil. I think we'll get there, but we have to allow it. I think he had a better second half. But I think Saka did well today, man. I'm going completely all over the place. So I'll give Saka a 7 and Maitland-Niles an 8. I'm tempted to give Chambers a 9, but I'm going to stick to what I actually said, an 8. I feel Chambers was quality. I say it in all my vids. What I like about Chambers is that he doesn't try things above his pay grade. He gets the ball out when he gets the ball out. He might do his little playing out from the back thing, but once he tries to make that pass, he don't try to dwell on the ball and do things that he's not the guy for. He clearly recognises what he is in the team for. And no disrespect to him, but there's my coach once said to me, there's piano players and there's piano pushers. Obviously, the piano pusher isn't glamorous. Like, he's literally the person that will deliver the piano to the house people, move it from one room to the other. Nobody's preying that. The piano player now, the artist, where everyone's like, oh, he can play, he's amazing, he can get a record deal and stuff. Do you get it? Not everyone can be the superstar. Someone's got to be the piano pushers. Arsenal haven't had competent piano pushers. And I feel when you're looking at it, Chambers, if you're looking for anything close to consistency, while he hasn't been amazing, on the grand scheme of things and specific to this game, he's one of the people that we need better centre-halves, but you believe you can move forward with some capacity. Do I believe Chambers in an ideal world should be in Arsenal's first choice defensive partnership? Of course not. But I think he's earned the right to at least be part of Arteta's plans, because he has had bad games, but he's definitely put in more of a shift than the experienced individuals. He's definitely been more consistent. And you have to give it to him, people, because and we can still probably will listen to offers. I mean, would you lot sell for 20-25 million for Chambers was put on the table, sorry? I'm sure many of you would think, yo, we might have to do this. So in pre-season, at least under Emery, he was seen as someone barely going to play, similar to what he's been doing at Arsenal, have to rely on getting a look in. He stayed, he fought, and he definitely deserves to start, people. Like, him and Holding probably, for me, would be the centre-halves going forward this season. So I give Chambers an 8, man, and it was, again, congratulations to him, because he made his 100th appearance. So I give him an 8. I give David Luiz a 7. I feel Luiz was good today. I feel he barely put a foot wrong by his own standards. I feel he found balance today. Maybe a lot of it was to do with, all of them was the manager watching, or the new incoming manager in Arteta. The real work starts tomorrow, Sunday, tomorrow is Sunday. It's Monday, you get the point, people, in preparation for the Bournemouth game. But I feel like David Luiz was calm today, so I give him a 7. I feel the back 4, 5 including Leno, not really Leno, but going into the game, you was a bit nervous because mainly based on the Chelsea game, people, how Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison were aggressive, working the flanks, and really, realistically, everybody came out well, but that's not no disrespect to them away from this game. That is not a defence that is of a standard to get top 4. You've got 2 man that's not their roles. You've obviously got Chambers who does his thing, but he shouldn't really be first choice. Luiz, credit to him today. I'm not critiquing him, but he's a walking fire hazard. Leno is calm. And you was looking at that would probably be the area to let us down beyond everywhere else, to be fair, or where the problems would come. But that was probably the best collective unit in the team. So credit to everybody part in the defence. Xhaka and Torreira get 8s, people. Listen, Xhaka's future based on what's happened is always going to be up for grabs. Whether he stays or goes, another thing. But I say there's only been, I can't remember the chronological order, but since he's been reintegrated into the first team, he's only had, because I can't remember the game, but I can remember speaking on it, he's only had 1 bad game in the 3 to 5 games he's played, people. I don't know. I feel Xhaka's did his thing today. Today I feel there was balance in his play. Obviously, collectively, movement, passing it forward, all these things were lacking in our game, people. But I feel he barely put a foot wrong. He defended quite well. He distributed the ball to a decent standard. I think him and Torreira did all right. Torreira was fighting in there likewise. I feel the midfield did cool today, man. I've got no criticisms of the 2 midfielders. They get an 8. 8s respectively. I give Emil Smith-Rowe a 6. He was probably on course to get a 5. I would have subbed him at half time. I love the guy. But I just feel he looked a bit out of his depth, and that's no fault of his own. To get experience, you need to be given chances, and he would have learned a lot today, people. And I believe in him. He would have learned a lot, even coming on against, who did he come on against for Ozil? I don't even remember, people. Was it City? Could be wrong. Probably needs to learn a bit more how to play in that creative role. Come and demand a bit more, ball a bit more. His movement's good, but in the first half, was you necessarily get into areas where your players can find you because of their lack of own quality, not necessarily yours. But I think he pressed well. The work rate's there, the work ethic's there. He probably just needs a bit more, I wouldn't even say confidence, a bit more self-belief, because he does look like, he looks like a quiet guy, someone who's confident, but you can't, he's of a different mentality. And that's where people got to stop having dim views and looking at this young player's hitting it, why isn't he? I say look at your own careers, whether you're a college student or whatever. I'm sure there's someone similar age group to you who's in a better position than you or is ahead. So you can't just take that view. He played like someone in the first half who is making his first Premier League start. I believe in him. I think, I'm not here to say these players can be world beaters, because I think in my head, I think Saka could be quality, but I think Martinelli is the only one really I think can be that elite bracket. But that's no criticism. I believe Nelson, Maitland, Niles, Emil, all these guys can be regular starters or just first team players of some standard for this football club moving forward. I believe that. And if not, they're going to have good careers elsewhere. I feel Emil recovered in the second half to a degree, which is why I give him a 6. He started to believe in himself a bit more, demand the ball, little dribbles. Even when he flicked over someone's head, a bit more confidence in his display. He probably stopped thinking to himself, oh, I'm playing Premier League now, I've been watching this all my life, sort of thing. He's at that stage where it's as much as about improving tactically and technically, it's about the mentality as well. And I like him. And I always wish if injuries didn't rob him, how much experience could he have got playing consistently for Leipzig? Nelson gets a 6 because I feel he was so-so as well today. I like him. I feel he showed that he wanted the ball. He kind of tried to take the game to Everton a bit with his dribbles and that, but at times he was dribbling into blind alleys. Him and Mill, a couple of players, just decision making needs to improve a bit more. All the things that is relative to their age, people, through no fault of their own. But I think he put in a good experience. And to be fair, I would have brought on Pepe, but it's nice to see he got 90 minutes. So Lombard clearly took the decision to blood some of these young players in. And collectively, I think the young players did well today, man. Listen, I don't think anybody played poor today. Torn between a 6 and a 7 for Aubameyang because I saw him working very hard, but because of where we're playing, while I don't think we can keep using that as an excuse because he's not got service, he's got to take some accountability. The man's got no service. Every game is more or less bleep test for him. The movement was there. He was trying. It's just, do you get it? When you ain't got no philosophy and all these things are wrong, he can't do anything, really and truly. That being said, I'm sure he did have 2 great chances. There was one that forced a good save of Pickford and one where he took the ball for Emil and tried to finish it, and I believe it was a tame effort. It could have been wrong. Aubameyang's a striker of the standard where he can have one shot for 90 minutes and it's crucial. But I think he deserves a 6. Lacazette and Joel Willett realistically weren't on the field long enough for me, people, to really critique realistically and give a realistic rating. So on that note, I'm just going to get out of here. People, Deluded, I'm out. Thank you for watching and rocking.